Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. This is it.
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I'm Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
Welcome along. We're doing another short series of the single issue standalone episodes that we did back in the summer. It's because it's the school holidays again, and we pre-record some while we go off and do other things with our families, deal with it. And we were just chatting for reasons that will become apparent as this episode unfurls. And we decided that we would do the subject of bedtime. And I thought, I think we've already done the subject of bedtime. And then I've just looked and we have done bedtime already as an episode.
Only a couple of months ago.
Just a couple of months ago. And we'd completely forgotten we'd done it, but until we remembered. But I've looked at the description of the bedtime episode, Sam, and it says prayers, vinyl jackets. Now it's coming back to me.
Vinyl jackets.
Vinyl jackets, as in fake leather.
Yeah,
Fonz-esque vinyl jackets. Sibling room sharing, plain drunkenness, a wasp sting remedy, and evening eavesdropping. So I don't think we actually covered very much about bedtime in that.
Yeah, those subjects ring a bell, but there wasn't much bedtime chat.
We must have got distracted. So we'll call this one Bedtime 2, I think.
Yeah.
A sequel to the original Bedtime, and we'll have another crack at doing bedtime. And the reason that we've chosen bedtime is that, Sam, you have appeared in the Vita Modular to do this recording quite early in the morning, about as early as we get when we do these, and just tell the listeners what it is that you're wearing right now.
I'm wearing my dressing gown, something that you could even refer to as my robe. I've had this dressing gown for a few years. I love it around this time of year where you bust out your big dressing gown. Because
has it got pinstripes on it there, or
yeah,
it's
from M&S. It's from M&S. It's a navy dressing gown. It's one of those ones that I would say is probably half cotton, half man-made fibre, which gives it an extra coziness, in my opinion.
I'm going to find mine.
Carry on. It's got kind of like and it's like an old friend because it's like, I think my mum got it for me, and I requested this specific one because I'd been in M&S a few years back. It's got to be about at least 5 years old, and I saw it and I thought, I fucking like that dressing gown. And she asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I just sent her a link and went, this. And I remember her giving it to me and saying, well, I wasn't sure if you were right because it's not very nice, is it? She went, I mean, I got the one you sent me to the link for, but I was a bit worried that you'd sent me the wrong link because, and I said, look, shut up, this is brilliant. And the nice thing about this dressing gown now is that it's because we've had a very long Indian summer. I've not got it out. Usually I'd have this out soon as it turned into September, but it's been too warm, hasn't it? So
I wouldn't say
just got it out last
Indian summer, but it stayed warmer for longer, a bit warmer. We weren't sweltering.
We were down
much.
here. Some days in October, it's been like you could not wear a jacket; you'd be boiling hot.
Not wear a jacket.
Yeah, this is in October, not just September. September.
Okay. Yeah, there was a couple of days that were lovely.
I went to West Ham in shorts and t-shirt just a few weeks ago.
When I was in shorts 2 weeks ago, and then I came out of shorts, and then 3 days later there was frickin' frost on the garden.
Exactly.
It's all over the morning. What's that about?
It's all over the place. But we'll do a weather issue maybe next time. But so this has come out, and it's always exciting because it's nice spending the morning in your cosy dressing gown, but it's worn, and that's when dressing gown comes into its own. It started to be worn and frayed in patches. There are threads hanging off the end of the sleeve. There are bald patches on the elbow, and that's when it really feels part of you. An old
it's
friend.
Almost like a second skin, isn't it? By then,
it's an old friend. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if I've ever washed it. Doesn't feel like, I don't know if it is washable.
It would probably fall apart if you did.
Yeah. But this morning I actually, so it's half term, so it's great. You don't have to be up with the kids to get them to school. So unless you have an appointment, I mean, I know I'll be up in time to do the pod because I'll naturally wake up. But I slept a bit later, got up, slippers on, Jim Jam's still on. I was just finishing a cup of coffee and I got the text from you reminding me it was pod time. So here I am.
Shuffled across to the Vita Modular.
Yeah, shuffled across in my slippers.
Shuffle.
And the thing that's amazing, I think, to both of us was when I said to you, and I think this is right, that this is the first time that we've recorded a pod where either of us, you or I, have ever been in our dressing gowns, which seems so strange and so anti the whole the guiding philosophy of this podcast.
Well, yeah, you got me thinking there, and I reckon eventually we'll record in nothing but dressing gowns eventually, one day. That's got to be the aim, hasn't it?
Definitely.
Really. The more time of day it is we record, we'll just be in dressing gowns all the time.
My son only wears nightwear to get into like the bedtime. Honestly, like when he works out, say if it's a half term like now, he works out what his schedule is for the day, right? And as soon as, if he has an outing that is mandatory, right? As soon as he gets back from that outing, even if it's still like before lunchtime, he goes up to his room and gets changed into his like pajamas, dressing gown and slippers.
Brilliant.
His rationale is, why would I be in the house in outdoor clothes when I don't have to, when I'm not going outdoors? You know? And he's got one of these hoodie things as well. You know, like a blanket that you put over your head with a hood, which the young people love. My daughter's got one as well. But he's in his. This time of year, that's it. It's on permanently.
Well, that's a good thing. It's become more prevalent. Our fathers' parents and parents' generation, they grew up and they used to wear fucking shirt and tie all the time.
Even in the house.
In the 50s and 60s in the house. And now
my
it's
dad's
gone
still
full
like
circle.
that. My dad's still like that. I mean, since he's broken his arm, his big thing is, well, the only thing I need help with is getting dressed, right? And I'm like, well, why don't you just not get dressed?
Yeah, put a dressing gown on.
Like, you're not seeing people most days. Yeah. And he's like, he just looks at me like I'm mad. It's like, a man has to get dressed.
Standards must be maintained. Boy.
Like, he'll be in the house on his own, shaved, shirt ironed, like smart trousers on.
Yeah.
Leather town shoe. And it's like, oh, you're a bit dressed up. What are you doing today? Nothing. You're not even going out. I would say I only got into wearing... I remember when I was in my 20s, my older brother and his missus, we used to go to their house and they'd put on their comfy clothes, right? Their comfy cozies, as they would call them. And me and my missus, we would rip the piss out of them because we thought we were a bit more young and vibrant. We go, what are you putting those clothes on for? And they go, we always had these on around the house. And we were like, house clothes. Losers. And I was thinking about that and I was thinking,
what if you need to go to a disco at a moment's notice?
That was sort of like what I was probably thinking. You never know who might call you at any point and say, hey, we're having a wild party up on a rooftop. Up on a rooftop in the West End. Everyone's here. Shakira. Justin Timberlake.
It's got artificial plants.
Because I was thinking about this, right? And I said to my good wife, I said, do you remember when we used to take the piss out of them? I said, and now we're like in our fucking, at the drop of a hat, we're in our like comfy clothes, right? And I said, does that mean that in our 20s we would sit in the evening watching telly wearing things like jeans and jumpers, and then when bedtime arrived, like you'd go, right, bedtime, and you'd go into your bedroom and have to take off all of your day clothes then. You know, it could be 11 o'clock, could be later. You're taking off all your daytime clothes, which in the winter could be you might be wearing, if it was the depths of winter around, you could be wearing jeans and long johns. You could be wearing a vest covered by a shirt, covered by a woolly jumper, right? You can take all of that off, put it away, right? And then get changed at that time of night when you're really, all you want is your bed. Seems absurd, doesn't it? But that's what I did. I think I used to come in from work and I think I'd just like have my dinner, sit down, watch the telly, and all those uncomfortable day clothes. Seems absolutely ridiculous. So the world has changed in lots of ways in our lives. But in some ways, it's easy for us to get that in some ways it's changed for the better. And in the 90s, which I talk about through rose-tinted glass the whole time, there were some things that weren't as good. And one of those things is that I would remain in my 90s clothing right up until bedtime.
Ready for an impromptu Britpop gig.
Exactly.
That might happen at any time. But it's become a thing, I think, partly because of lockdown. And I think, loungewear is now a huge industry. We should have got into the loungewear business when we started this podcast.
Yeah.
We missed a trick there. But
the Latvians were slow to catch up with us when we put in some loungewear requests.
Yeah. Loungewear is a massive thing. And what do they call it? They call it goblin mode, don't they? Where people just hang around in these hoodies. And, I mean, I'll wear between, let's say, late April and early October, around the house, I'll wear shorts, and they'll be like kind of cotton sort of
sweatshirt material shorts. That's what I wear.
Material shorts, Adidas usually.
Yeah.
And then from in the winter months, I've got a couple of pairs of just jogging pants that I wear.
Yeah,
just shorts but longer, and that's all I'll wear in the house.
When I go to I wear my tracksuits out a lot. So before lockdown, I had a tracksuit that I would use in the winter for running or exercising, but then I'd have like one that was just like for lounging in, right, sweat free, and I just had one that I'd occasionally wear. Now I fucking get through them like nobody's business. So, for instance, my wife was going to shops on Sunday and she said, "Do you need anything?" And I said, "Can you buy me a tracksuit, right? Because I've decided that I'm flying to New York on, soon. And I decided that on the plane, I just wanted to wear a tracksuit. I'm turning up at the airport in full tracksuit.
Yeah, that's good.
No hand luggage, just the passport and phone in my pocket and a tracksuit. That's it. Because I'm like, I'm going to get on that plane, I'm going to sleep the whole fucking way, aren't I? Or even if I don't watch a film, I just want comfort. Gone are the days when
no hand luggage. Fucking hell.
When you I don't want hand luggage. It's a hassle. You've got to go through all security and all that. Phone in one pocket, passport in the other. Get on the plane, bang, sleep.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Or bang, watch a film. If my son
hand
doesn't
luggage is
sleep.
just generally just stuff that I need, like a laptop and maybe an iPad or a Kindle or something like that. That's it.
No, I'm not taking.
And I'm like, there you are. I'll take them out. You can have a look at them. Put the empty bag through. That's all I've got.
I hate getting things out and then putting them back in. In fact, make a note of that.
It's really stressful, isn't it?
That's another single issue podcast I'd like to do. Getting things out and putting things in.
Oh, just in general. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a hassle.
Do that
isn't it?
next time. But the whole,
I like
the
people
whole...
who you see who would like wearing flip flops. So because occasionally, do you still? I think they've slackened security now, or maybe they've just got new ways of examining us. Because I read that they were doing away with the whole get your gadgets out thing, and they certainly seem to have done away with the taking your shoes off business that was
the shoes off thing seems to have stopped. Sometimes they'll do a random check on you and make you take your shoes off.
I think that they have when they stop doing things like that, I just think they've got new machines, some of which we can't even see, that are looking inside our shoes.
I think that's probably what it is.
Us knowing.
Yeah, shoe X-rays. Yeah,
or like people underneath the floor, security staff who are able to who are examining our shoes from below at all times.
Below.
The floor looks opaque, but in fact it's a two-way mirror.
You can see through. Yeah, that's probably what's happening. That's not really much to do with bedtime, though. But the whole goblin mode thing. And so many people are working from home now, and people don't dress up to work from home. They might do in the top half that's visible on their meetings, on their Teams meetings, or on Zoom. But I think everyone's just they're getting away with this as much as they can in terms of dressing gowns, loungewear.
Yeah, why not?
People used to be up in arms when women would be spotted in supermarkets in their pajamas, and I think everyone's fine with it now. They were pioneers, those women. You'd get people posting pictures on social media trying to shame these women. Yeah. Look at this woman. She's in Asda in her pajamas. This is appalling. This is a sliding of standards. But they're pioneers.
Who's fucking standards? Who's fucking standards as well? And I see that a lot. That might have started in Liverpool. I see it now in my local shop. And I would never judge someone for that in the morning or whenever, because the whole kind of standard thing, I don't know, it feels a little bit Tory. I think people can live their lives how they want. Do you know what I mean?
As long as no one's getting hurt, yeah.
Jalapeño.
Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you wouldn't be hearing this brief but annoying message if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your ticks.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Jalapeño. Jalapeño.
As I've told you, I do a lot of, this is relevant to bedtime, I guess, is that I do a lot of bedtime driving, right? Because mainly to ferry my daughter home from parties, increasingly boozy parties as far as I can establish. But that's not my business, right? But as I've told you before, the whole kind of being a dad sat in a suburban street in a car quite late at night, and I go out in my pyjamas, and I've told you I get my teeth cleaned sometimes before I go out. So I go out and I'll be wearing my slippers and my pyjamas. I've yet to do it in my dressing gown, although frankly that's just a matter of time. What I'll do is I'll put a coat on over my pyjamas maybe, and then I clean my teeth, and then when I get back, but I did it last night. My wife was coming home late from a night out, and she needed picking up from the station. I had my slippers and pyjamas on, just went out like that. I was sitting outside the Hammersmith Apollo, and there was a gig going on. There was loads of people walking to and from around my car. They could see me. Yeah. I was like, that's right, cunts. Have a nice time at your pop concert.
Clothes, in their jeans and what have you.
That's right, you silly bastards, in your torture clothes. That's right, I'm sat here in my car, grown man, in my Jimmy Jams. I'm sat here in my Jimmy Jams listening to a West Ham podcast. So fucking what?
Yeah. And I've cleaned my teeth as well, if you want to check my breath.
I'll wind down the window and breathe. Minty fresh. Now fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, if I find myself wearing jeans around the house, I feel wrong. I feel overdressed.
Pointless.
You know what? As soon as I come in from being outdoors in jeans, the jeans are off. And the indoor...
Yeah,
either shorts or jogging pants are straight on.
I rush straight upstairs as soon as I come in the house. Before I've barely said hello to anyone, I'm like, I go, hello, I call out, I go, hello, and then they know, they hear my and they'll know, there he is, off to get his Jim Jams on. Yeah, I can't, the moment can't come quickly enough for me. But what else do you like to do? What else do you like to do at bedtime?
I'm struggling with sleeping at the minute.
Right.
I'm struggling with getting to sleep. I'm boozing less in the house.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I think in the past, booze
gets you off to sleep.
Has been a thing that's helped me get to sleep. So I'm boozing less. So as a result, I'm not sleeping as much. So then I'm napping during the day. So then at the end of the day, I'm not sleeping again.
Yeah, the naps can interfere.
Cycle. So at the minute when I go to bed, I'm listening to audio books. I'm listening to Alan Partridge's first audio book at the minute. Good. Which I don't know if that's the right thing to listen to, because it makes me laugh.
It gets your heart rate up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All the humours.
Gets the blood pumping. So I don't know if that's the right thing to do. I really like when there's snooker on and there's late night snooker.
Yeah, that's very. What's the word for it?
Soporific.
Soporific. Yeah, it is. Snooker is soporific, isn't it?
Yeah, and if there's highlights of snooker that I've already seen earlier in the day, like when the World Championship's on, I'll go to bed with that on, and I won't even watch it. I'll just have it on in the background just for the quiet sound of it all, just the balls clacking against each other, and the applause, the light applause of the crowd,
and the gentle commentary.
The gentle tones of the commentators and all that. Yeah, I find that really
sweet and tender commentator. That's what I used to call. Was it David Vine who used to do it, or did he do other sports?
The guy that was called Ted. What was he called?
In the 80s.
No, Ted. Yeah, I've forgotten his surname now. Ted Lowe.
Yeah,
Ted Lowe was the commentator. He was the main guy. Because back then, the commentators weren't in a separate box. They were in the corner of the arena. That's why they had to speak very softly.
So could you hear them if you were sat in the arena? Would you have been able to hear them somewhat?
Some of the players may have been able to slightly hear them.
Did Alex Higgins ever go? They go, oh, and he'll be disappointed with that shot. Yeah, no, I fucking had. Fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Keep the fucking noise down.
Fuck you, Low.
Yeah,
I know where you live, Low.
Yeah, yeah. He did threaten to kill many people in the snooker scene back in the 80s and 90s. No, I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't got a routine as such. Just go to bed. Just put telly off. Go upstairs. But I've got telly in my bedroom. Put telly in my bedroom. Go to bed. But I've got that thing. We've talked about this before, but I've forgotten how you're supposed to lie when you get into bed.
We've talked about this a lot, and the thing about lying is the moment you think about it, your lying position, you're fucked. It's same as breathing. Same as breathing.
I'm in that at the minute.
Yeah, that's.
It's not a massive problem, but it's a problem.
I mean, my situation when I find myself in that situation, which does happen from time to time, and I start thinking about my position too much, is that all you can really do is rotate positions until something takes.
Till something fits. Yeah.
In the end, something will take, and but you never know what it is. So you go left side, you go left side, legs bent, left side, legs straight, back, legs up, knees up,
tummy, back, on tummy,
I'm sorry, right, legs bent, legs straight, and in the end, once you go through those basics, there's about 8. Yeah. There's 8 basic positions. I mean, if you go to India, there's loads more, obviously, because I think they've got a book, haven't they? They've got about 1,000 different sleeping positions in some Indian cultures.
The Karma Snoozer, it's called.
The Karma Snoozer. Yeah. But if you're British, there's 8 basic. I mean, if you go on the government website or the NHS website, the NHS has a great site on sleeping positions, and they will give you the 8 basic positions, and the advice is try each of them for 5-minute periods, and maximum by the end of the 8th period you'll be asleep. That's what they claim.
Yeah, arms above the head, arms down by the side, one arm above, one arm down. But you should. On the NHS site, they won't have the American style that my brother-in-law sleeps in. Remember the American hands
style?
Behind the head,
hands behind the head, straight out in the back. It's sort of like it's called the American style, but colloquially it's known as the Fonzie. Because I think it's said to have been invented by Henry Winkler's character in Happy Days.
But if you think about it, that's almost like a hammock style of sleep, and the hammock can generally promote sleep. So maybe I should bring the hammock indoors that I've got and sleep in the hammock. In that style.
Well, that'd be great.
Yankee style. Might give that a try.
I mean, generally speaking, we Brits, we're quite uptight, and at bedtime, rather than sleep like an American or a continental who have no problem sleeping whatsoever, the old dis and dats, they like, hey, no problem, best moment of the day.
They'll sleep till, sleep in the afternoon and then eat at 9 p.m. and then have a party or something.
At bedtime, very simple. Glass of wine, get into bed, make love to your woman, and then fall off to sleep in her embrace. Lovely fucking jubbly. But it's not simple for us Brits. We go to bed riddled with neurosis and worry.
Angst.
Yeah.
Like lying there thinking about trying to get to sleep for 2 hours. Fucking hell. Oh, but you still got the sleep apnea mask.
Well, the dog, Cookie, has eaten its second sleep apnea mask.
No way.
There's 2 it's got through now. And so, as a result, when she ate the second one, I went without for like a week because I kept the sleep clinic is very mysterious and difficult to contact. Right? They're supposed to
usually asleep.
The sleep professor, right? He calls me once every, I think it's 6 months, to check in on how I'm doing, and it's really sinister.
Oh, good morning.
That is what he's like.
The sleep professor here.
But listen, what they do is they send you a text, right, and it just says, Professor, I won't give his full name, although it is a funny name.
Professor such and such.
Professor such and such will be calling you, and it's always a strange time, like on Saturday at 11:35 a.m. to discuss your progress. And and then it just does that thing going, if you cannot be available, please let us know. And, you get a text like that when you're going along doing something. I might be samming about. I might be podcasting. Who knows? And you get it and you sort of think, what? First of all, it's a traditional text message. Bit old-fashioned, right? It's not a WhatsApp or anything like that. Just the normal SMS. So when I get those, I'm usually suspicious anyway. Because
you just think scam.
Yeah, or it's something annoying from your bank. You are overdrawn! You are overdrawn! Right, or whatever. And so I don't like getting those messages. And it just seems weird that they would just impose a time out of the blue as well. Just all of a sudden. All right, cunt, make sure you're available on Saturday at midday.
Yeah, be there.
Do you know what I mean?
Fuck off.
You forget to respond. Next thing you know, you've got a disgruntled message from Professor Such and Such. The last one literally went like this. Hello, Mr. Delaney. It's Professor Such and Such from the Sleep Clinic. It's disappointing that we've missed you yet again. And I'm like, well, don't fucking arrange appointments like this, you silly bastards. Right?
Yeah, consult with me. I'll check my diary.
I've got my own
life
life to be leading.
Yeah.
Got all sorts going on. I'm a busy man. So, but what's weird, right, is when you do speak with them, which I haven't done for ages, he knows what your sleeping's been because guess what? There's a fucking SIM card inside the sleep machine, right? And they can track the data, and they know.
Is it transmitting it to them?
Yeah, they can
Bluetooth.
They can log in. They can log in
it to your mind,
to my fucking sleep mind.
Shit.
So, Mr. Lady, I see you've been having that dream about defecating in public again. Would you care to discuss that? How do you know about that? Oh, it's all in the data. The machine is recording all of your dreams, even the saucy ones. Well, bloody hell. I wish I'd signed up to this. Well, you signed the contract. Unfortunately, there's no turning back. So basically, he knows how much I've been sleeping, and he'll go, right, you've worn the mask, 75% of nights for the last, 6 months, which is great. Your sleep pattern has improved to be X% proper deep sleep and X% shallow sleep, and you're waking up on average, and it's always like loads. They'll go, oh, you've woken up 12 times a night, and I'll be thinking, I don't remember that. Right.
Yeah. Don't do
so it's a bit sinister. And then when the sleep mask breaks, they've got one of those weird scam-like websites where it's really hard to find a phone number and there's a contact form that no one ever replies to. So in the end, I replied to one of their iffy text messages and I just go, I literally wrote the last one, my dog has eaten the mask again. Please send new one. And I thought they're going to draw the line soon because they can't be cheap.
Yeah, they'll start charging you.
But next thing I know, yesterday, having gone a couple of weeks without the mask, one arrives. Right?
Oh, that's nice.
Just in an envelope, out of the blue. Brilliant. So last night, it's funny you should ask the question. Last night, for the first night in 2 weeks, I put the mask on. I woke up this morning. That's one of the reasons I overslept. I just had a really, really good sleep. So I know it makes a difference because for these last 2 weeks, I've been falling back into a pattern of trying to have more naps in the day again. And that nap habit was as a result of my poor quality sleep. When I've got the mask on, less naps, which I feel is a double-edged sword because, in a way, a nap's a lovely thing to have.
We like naps. We're very pro-nap. We have been for a long time, yeah, you're right. But the members are not the best thing.
Yeah, so that's the situation with me. I'll get into bed. I usually go up. I climb, what do they call it? The wooden hill to Bedfordshire? Is that what they call it?
Something like that, yeah. Right. That's what pricks say.
Yeah. I get up there, teeth cleaned. I try to remember to floss my teeth because...
Say your prayers.
Yeah, say my prayers. Then read, and then mask on. Good night, darling. My mask is on. And then,
the lady is shutting down for the day.
Yeah, and then it as the mask goes on, it reads that it's on, so you don't have to press the button. The machine feels your breath, and it goes, and like the mask tightens on you. You feel like Darth Vader.
Fucking hell. Brilliant.
And then you're out like a light. I don't know how, but it seems to send me off to sleep quicker as well.
Might have to get one of them. Might have to get involved in all of that.
I think if you're a middle-aged man, it's really easy to get diagnosed with sleep apnea, to be honest.
I'll try it then.
Yeah.
Right, that's bedtime sorted then, I reckon, at the second attempt. I think we're going to do sweets next time. That'll be good. So get yourself some sweets before you listen to it. Thanks very much for listening, and good night.
Good night.